Hey, espresso and coffee lovers, Mark here from Whole Latte Love. Today I'm going to show you how to install the Kwikset gear. That's one with the worm gear on a Chiato E37S. If your Chiato E37S the serial number starts with an F, G, or H, and you want to do that upgrade, you can put the Kwikset gear, the worm gear. You know, it's just back from the SCA in Boston. Some Chiato grinders with the worm gear out there. For instance, Mad Lab Coffee Roasters from LA. Andrew was there. He had an E37Z Hero. That's a zero retention grinder. Really dug that. Also the Colombian Coffee Club. They were using a Chiato E37SD, a single dosing version of the E37S here. They were doing some cupping and using that single dosing grinder to do that. Also, who else? Saro D'Alio. He was doing some demos and he was using E37T that also has that worm gear. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, this will work on Chiato E37S grinders with a serial number starting with F, G, or H. So the tools you're going to need: a Phillips head screwdriver, medium size, larger one, nothing small, straight bladed screwdriver, and I've got a couple brushes to clean things up. So first thing you want to do, we don't want to lose any fingers, so we're going to unplug the grinder completely. Before you even start this, be sure and grind out everything. Just grind till dry. We're going to take the hopper off. Take this rubber piece. Well, you can leave it on, but we're going to take it off. You won't be needing this anymore at all. Then we're just going to take the Phillips head screwdriver and 3 screws here. Now, you know, if you've had an E37S, one of the things that we really like about them is you can take this top burr plate off and never lose calibration. And we put the new Kwikset gear on there. We will lose calibration. I'll show you how to recalibrate that. It's really pretty easy and straightforward. These screws shouldn't be too hard to get in there. They spin out pretty easy. You will need these screws. Make sure I got this back one all the way. And those are all good. Okay, so hold on to those. I'm going to slide this guy over so you can see a little bit better. Okay, we'll just take that off. Make sure you leave that rubber gasket in place. Now, it's a great time if you want to do a little cleanup. This one of our techs had just cleaned it recently. This is a grinder we've had for a while. The serial number on this one starts with an F, so it's an earlier version. This grinder's been out, I don't know, I think about 4 or 5 years. So you can take like a stiff brush and get stuff off now if you want to. Also in here, you can remove this gasket and try not to let grinds get down in there, but if you got some grinds around, get that all cleaned out. Make sure this is nice and clean, this area here. I'm going to put that back on for now. So what we've got to do is transfer the burr from the old top plate here to the new Kwikset. I'll pull that over, move this out of the way. So it's just 3 straight head screws here. So we're just going to remove those. And they shouldn't be all that tight, not too hard to get out. It's just the 3 of those. There's one. Number 2. And the 3rd one, and we will need these screws, of course. Okay. Again, this one's really clean. You may find yours has got a little more stuff in there. And again, great time to clean it. Won't be needing that anymore. So take a look, especially around the back, if you've got some caked up coffee in here, in the screw head areas, get those cleaned out. Good time to do that. So to put this one, you're just going to transfer it to the Kwikset gear. So line up the holes. And now you don't ever want to force these screws. They should all turn in pretty easy. Now if you got a little caked up coffee somewhere, they might be just a little stiff, but they should go in really easy. If you feel any resistance at all, back off, try again. You don't want to cross-head anything here. So get those lined up. And I'm not tightening them real hard at first. I'm going to just get them in there so everything's lined up, and then I'll go back and I'll crank them down just a little bit. You don't have to go real hard, though. Okay, there's 2. And find the hole there. There we go. And then just spin those in. Everything's good. Now I can go and tighten these down a little more. Be a little more aggressive. You don't have to go incredibly hard. Okay, that's good. So with that gasket in place, let me move this over. Sure that gasket's in place. Again, make sure this area here is clean. And we'll set it back on there. Drop these 3 screws in. Go back to the Phillips head. Again, these should turn in really, really easy. And just like on the burr, I'm not going to tighten them down a lot at first. Just make sure I get them all in there and everything's lined up right. And these, again, I'll go back and I'll just crank on them just a little bit, but you don't have to go real far. Everything's in good alignment. Just a bit. Okay, now we'll plug our grinder back in. Make sure the power's on. And we'll show you how to calibrate this. So it's going to come and it's not going to be, you know, you're going to lose calibration when you change this out. So you're going to turn the grinder on. I've got it on manual, so I can just hold this if I want to. And I'm just going to keep on turning to finer here until I hear the burrs make contact. And don't worry about that. You're just going to hear it at some point here. So that's, right, listen. So we're just touching. So that's what, so it's got on top, it's got this ring here that you can move. It's kind of magnetically on there, so you're able to slide that around. So if you want to set that to 0, that's not a bad deal. Then from there, what I would do, because that's going to be way too fine for espresso, so I'm just going to back off a little bit. And you see we turn on here, we won't hear a thing. All right. From there, again, we don't need this anymore. Let's put the hopper back on. And that's it. So again, that's the Chiato E37S, the quick set gear upgrade. It'll come in a box, looks something like that. Really easy to do. And again, that worm gear is going to give you that super fine control that you really want when you're dialing in for the perfect espresso shot. Now, if you have any questions about this, use those comments. I'd be more than happy to help you out. And other than that, we'll see you back here soon for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love. Want to learn more? Subscribe now so you'll know about the latest videos on everything coffee from Whole Latte Love.